Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K edition of the Fangoria produced VFW. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365, as well as over at the Disney Magic Hour podcast. I'll put a link for that in the description. All right, VFW is here on 4K, produced by Fangoria, and it is a throwback to 80s style action / horror film. Very interesting flick. So we're going to talk about the picture quality and the audio of this release. Before we do that, let's do a quick unboxing of the slipcover edition. Okay, we have the slipcover edition of the VFW here. There's the front cover and our back and the spine, and then interior wise almost the same cover. So in the back, and then we have artwork on the disc, which is always appreciated, but nothing inside the case, so not too bad. All right, so now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. For the 4K edition, which is native 4K VFW, it's going to be a little difficult to kind of judge this one as far as the overall picture quality. Now, because there's a lot of director style, there's a lot of aesthetic that goes into this, and this not being released that supports HDR, so there's no HDR, Dolby Vision, there's no grading of any kind in this release. So we're just got the native 4K, and you know, and if you add the additional stylized elements such as the grain, just the overall the softness to some of the picture, it's going, as I mentioned, going to be a little bit kind of difficult to really judge it based on that. That being said, I think as far as director intent goes, making an 80s style, you know, a horror film, action, just you know, which takes place prominently at nights, where there's a lot of black level and detail that could get lost, and it's just kind of, I think for what it is, it looks okay. It looks good. It is not going to win any awards as far as picture quality goes. It's just kind of got that, you know, almost like the grindhouse style look to it. I mean, the grain is very heavy. It's very prominent. And it just kind of, you know, it's almost like a separate character as far as, you know, the look as the film itself. You know, and there's also indoor scenes inside the actual VFW building. A lot of action, a lot of gore. I feel that a lot of it got lost. A lot of the detailing got lost in this transfer. It's a lot of gore, but it kind of just, it gets buried underneath the blackness and the overall crush. It's not a pretty picture to look at. But once again, is that more director's intent, or it's just, you know, the transfer itself? I know the studio behind it has done okay transfers in the past, so I'm leaning towards, you know, more director intent here. But as far as overall picture quality goes, it can be a little bit rough. You know, detail, as I said, gets a little bit lost here and there. You know, you know, as far as like, you know, those moments of gore and those, you know, those other things. But you know, for what it is, the style, the intent, it's okay. It's just, it's going to be a little bit of a rough go. As far as audio mix goes, that seems to fare a little bit better. DTS 5.1. It's a bit action heavy, of course, this being one of those kind of films. Dialogue coming through center channel sounds good, but not great. There was a couple moments throughout the film that I couldn't understand what was happening, what somebody was saying, and it's just, you know, when you're watching this for the first time, you're really more or less paying attention, and then it kind of gets lost a little bit. The fronts sound good. They have a lot of the action, and it's a very overall fulfilling mix up of the front. As far as the rear speakers go, there's plenty of action. There's plenty of dialogue and things happening in the rear speakers that sound good. And it definitely has its moments here and there. LFE kicks in at appropriate levels of time. It's got especially in the, more or less the back half of the film, it has a lot more to do, but you know, for the most part, it's persistent, and it's a fairly good LFE mix. So my overall scores, I'm going to go ahead and give the picture quality of VFW a C. You know, as far as director intent goes, it succeeds. It looks like an 80s, you know, retro style kind of film. But detail, I feel, gets a little bit lost here, and just the black levels they're just crushing everything on screen. As far as the audio mix goes, I'm gonna give that one a C+. It's fairly aggressive. It has its moments here and there. And, you know, center channel, not a whole lot as far as the dialogue goes, you know, coming through there. It's not perfect. It's a little bit muddled, but the rest of the speakers sound pretty good, and it has a fairly robust audio mix. So that's my review of VFW on 4K. Let me know in the comments below if you had a chance to check it out and what your thoughts were. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Zato with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.